Wesley says, hey guys, do you know of anyone crushing it with local business directories? I have about 100 aged domains in my portfolio sitting there collecting dust. I would love to monetize and put to work. Thinking of offering a free tier with basic name and phone number, and then paid plans with website link, proper description, reviews, etc., but not sure how to scale it up, make it attractive to business owners that don't know anything about SEO, etc. Well, you'd be surprised, man. I'm in the tree service industry, and from talking with tree service guys for 10 years now, they're not the most sophisticated bunch. I don't mean to paint with such a broad brush, but they're typically not very tech savvy. The vast majority of them, and yet I get leads every single week, inbound leads from my directory, because tree service guys, not all, I mean, sometimes they're SEOs submitting their clients' listings, but a lot of them are tree guys that are just submitting their listings to my directory. So they're user generated or user submitted listings to my directory from tree guys, which is, traditionally a very low tech bunch. So, you'd be surprised at how many businesses actually, they might not openly, be seeking marketing help and online marketing help, but they understand, a lot of them understand the importance of it. Now, do I know anybody crushing it with local or business directories? No, I prefer a niche specific directory because it's a lot easier to manage once I don't know how many times I got to repeat this, but to me, it's so important, guys. If you've tried to do a local business directory, first of all, it's hard to rank. It can rank. It depends on kind of if there's other local business directories it's competing with. But here's the thing. Think about this. I have a client that I've done video SEO. I used to do video SEO services for. They're a web design and video production company. They're local to me, in an adjacent town. Anyway, for 8 years now, I've been doing SEO stuff and YouTube ads. I originally got started with them. I'm getting to a point here, but I originally got started with doing. It's a local web design and video production company, and years ago, like 8 years ago, I was doing a lot of video SEO stuff. So I started reaching out to local video production companies and saying, pitching them, hey, you guys do local video or videos for local businesses. You get paid one time, right? To maybe they'll buy another video a year or two down the road or something like that. But generally, it's a one and done type service. And I offered to them, I pitched to several different local video production companies, video SEO services. I pitched them on this. I said, listen, you can take a one-off revenue generator, the video that you produce, and turn it into a monthly revenue, monthly recurring income by offering to your clients video SEO services, because you sell them on the video, but that doesn't mean any eyeballs are going to get to it, right? That having a video does not automatically mean exposure or leads, right? So here's how you can get them exposure. And this was, again, talking about 8 years ago, I would do video SEO and then I would rank the video for the client. They charged $250 a month to their client and I would only charge $100 a month. So I was doing wholesale SEO services for a video production company that would sell retail video SEO services at a retail price. Does that make sense? So they actually made more money off of every video than I did, but I didn't care because I didn't have to go hunt down clients. I didn't have to close clients. I didn't have to convince them. They managed all that. All they did was whenever they closed a client and they upsold them onto what they called the Video Boost program, they would send it to me, and then I would charge $100 setup fee. That was just to prepare the video and optimize it and all that other stuff, prepare the YouTube upload. And then I would charge $100 a month per keyword, because sometimes they'd want to rank for 3 or 4 keywords. And so I would take the same video, I would spin it, so change it slightly, and then I would target different keywords, and I would do bundles, like 3 keywords for $250 a month as opposed to 300 or something like that. So anyway, the reason I brought that up is because they ended up building a directory, a local business directory that was, or a general business directory, I should say. It was not necessarily a local business directory, but a general business directory. And they hired me on several occasions for consultation to come in and try to show them how to get better results in ranking the directory, because they weren't getting any results from the directory. They would sell people on their videos, and then they would sell them on the video SEO services. And then they would also try to sell them on premium listings on their general business directory. The problem was the general business directory listings that they were selling premium, they weren't ranking. They, like, other than for a brand search, you wouldn't ever find those directory listings because the directory itself didn't have any authority built to it. And I advised that client, the directory owner and production company, I advised them multiple times, look, you're going to have to, it's going to take a lot of off-page work to get this directory to start to rank because it's so broad. When you have so many different topical categories on a site, it's hard to get traction for any one of them. Do you understand? That's why I'm saying a general business directory is a lot harder to rank, because it's, how do you build relevance, topical relevance to any one of those? Like, and there's so many different kind of categories, business categories, that you'd have to produce content for and everything else. And it's an enormous task. So I bring all that up because a niche directory, think about the directory alone. If it's a directory in a specific industry, or better yet, a specialization within a particular industry, then it's not hard to build authority to that directory, because everything on the directory is about that one topic, that one service, product or service. Do you understand? So that's why Tree Care HQ, without me even really trying, it ended up ranking. It took a year and a half, and it wasn't, I didn't really do a whole lot of SEO work to it, guys. I'm not kidding. Mostly what I was doing was press releases for directory listings for that I would close into clients or lead gen providers, because I use the directory to secure lead gen providers, as well as so service providers that would buy leads, as well as for retainer clients. Most of the time, all I would do was, whenever I would close a client through the directory, is I would publish a press release announcing that we just welcoming a new tree contractor to the treecarehq.com directory. So most of the links that were built to Tree Care HQ were literally just press releases. And about a year and a half into the project, without even really actively trying to rank it, it just ranked. And now from that point on, I haven't had to do any outbound prospecting, because I get leads coming in. The reason I bring that up is because, again, it goes back to, why did it rank? Well, because everything on that site is about tree services, landscapers, and excavators, to a much lesser degree, landscapers and excavators, but almost entirely about tree service stuff. So it's super relevant. Do you get it? So and here's the other thing about why I always talk about niching down to a particular industry. I know the tree service industry like the back of my hand, right? I know the keywords that produce leads. I know the ones that convert. I know how to talk to tree service business owners. I know what consumers are looking for when they need tree services. I know that industry really well because I've been working in it for 10 years. So like all the creatives, everything has already been developed, right? I don't need to reinvent anything, right? I don't need to figure out what works in the tree service industry. I know what works. So I can duplicate and scale very easily. But if you're doing a general business directory, think about that. I mean, you have to learn all, it's the same thing of being what I call a general agency or a Me Too agency. Yeah, we do that too. Or we work with these industries too, right? Me too. Yeah, me too. We do this too, right? Instead of specializing, because the problem is every time you start with you land a new client in a new industry, you got to start from scratch all over again. Learn 2 sets of vocabulary, how to speak to the business owner and what the consumers are looking for in that, right? Because we, as agencies and SEOs, right, we're B2C, or excuse me, B2B, business to business. That's our market, our other business owners. But then we have to do the SEO for them to serve consumers. That's B2C. So we have to learn the vocabulary on 2 levels, right? We have to learn how to prospect and sell to business owners. So we have to learn the marketing strategy for our services, but then we also have to learn the marketing strategy for their services so that they can attract their clients, right? And we're responsible for that. So the point that I'm trying to make is we have to learn 2 sets. We have to reinvent the wheel 2 times every time we start on a new industry. And it becomes an enormous amount of work. I know, because I did it for years myself, guys. Like, I'm not above all this. I just learned over the years how to make my job easier, right? Which is to specialize. I'm not crazy about the tree service industry. It happened to be very lucrative. And I've been working in so long, I just made it my kind of sole existence, really. Anyway, so Do I know anybody killing it with local business directories? No. But I've got a number of people that are doing well with niche specific directories because of precisely what I just mentioned. So can it be done with local directories? Yeah, it can. Like I said, I think it's just more work. I think there is what is it? The offline shark guys, Nick something or another. And you guys, some of you guys know who I'm talking about, but the offline shark guys, they have some local business directory training stuff. That, by the way, that's exactly how I got introduced to the whole directory model, was through the offline sharks guys. Like, full transparency, like 2 or 2.5 years ago, got caught up in a webinar that they put on. It was specifically about a local business directory, not niche specific, local business directory. And they had some sort of a directory theme and plugin that would pull contact, would scrape contacts and pull it in and everything. And I started on that process, and that's what gave me the idea for the niche specific directory that I ended up developing TreeCare HQ out of, and then the whole directory process and everything else out. So I owe the offline shark guys that, because they seeded the idea to me. But I went in a totally different direction than the local business directory for all the reasons I just mentioned. And again, the best thing I ever did for my local SEO agency, hands down, it's not even close, is just developing that directory and going all in on it. Okay. So to get back to your question, yeah, I would encourage you to go check out the offline shark guys about a local business directory. Okay. They probably got some strategies that would serve what you are asking about better than I could.